Hi Ray. I've got I've had an issue for a while, or I've wanted to brief something into you for a while, and it's very much time to have a chat about it. So because things are happening, so I've got here a staging one environment, and I've got the live site, and this is at the point where you have we've worked out the ClearFly plugin was the issue. You've gotten rid of that, or you've done some back-end coding, and the staging one site works well. Now I've just cleared Cloudflare. I've on here there's obviously no auto optimize, no SiteGround, and on the staging environment I've gone to delete auto optimize, purge SiteGround, so all caches are cleared. Now I pushed in between you finishing your work, and now I pushed the staging one to live, and the live site was working okay. It was working fine. Since the push, there seems to be errors. Now, let me show you. So auto optimize if has 134 files. So if I delete the cache, there are no files. If I purge the cache, that seems to happen quite quickly. 134 files seem to be back. Now, if I go to here, the admin bar that's up here, if I, as I said, I've cleared all caches, so I mean I can clear at least the browser cache again, and you would expect that to go when I refresh. No, okay, so it's disappeared this time. Before, the bar just would not disappear. So let's go to the staging site. Now, I won't run through the process twice to save you watching it twice, but the staging site works. Logging in, but let me do it here because there is a problem. So if I log in by clicking login, obviously, copy the map, log out, and then type map in. It's going to the map, and log out is there. So the problem, and as I said, I've pushed from the staging environment to live. So the ClearFly plugin is gone. I've deleted it from both the live site and the staging environment. Staging environment works fine. You've got that one working well. Now pushing over to live, the live site should work as well. So I won't really show you that, but there are other things. If you cast your mind back to the Canberra marker, when I changed the markers on the demo page. So let's quickly bring it up to refresh the memory. So one of the Coffs Harbour marker was blue, and we changed it to grey, and the Canberra marker changed to blue. And I talked to SiteGround support that the change from the staging environment being pushed over to the live did not carry across, and they manually got the database and took the staging database and laid it over the top of the live site database, and that obviously fixed it. But the staging tool did not recognize that this change had been made. Now, if I go back to the live to the home page, So I go back to the home page here. You can see that there is a gradient button here, and there is a light blue button here. I made this change on the staging environment, a light blue button, but once again, this entire thing is a slider revolution. This change did not get picked up and push across to the staging environment, to the live site. So it doesn't seem, this is maybe what these other issues are here. So staging working fine, not pushing across. So I've had this in my mind for a while. There is a plugin that I think may solve this issue. And well, if you go into, so staging to scenicgems.com, if you go into this, it's the same login details. The FTP are the same details as, hang on, I'll send you the FTP details for staging 2. So the plugin is called file name based asset cache busting, I think. Essentially what it'll do is put a file name, add to any file name, any asset, it'll add the date modified to the end of the file name. So it's an effective way of Cloudflare, Supercacher, any caching plugin realizing that a file has changed. So if I go into plugins, I ran a staging 2 environment because this is kind of one of those types of plugins that could break the website, and also it's probably something that you'd want to test, just on a completely separate environment and tinker with the website as much as you want, and it doesn't really matter, we can trash it. So they're file name based asset cache busting. So like I said, it adds a file name to the end of any asset, or adds a last modified date to the end of all file names. So I was thinking that once that was implemented, that would help the staging tool recognize when assets need to be updated, so that it will push across effectively. The other issue that I see is that if people are using the live site and we push to live, their browsers, so Cloudflare, SiteGround, and their browsers may not pick up that an asset is new, has changed. So we can't be expecting users to clear their cache at their end, their browser cache. We need the browser to say, oh, look, something's changed. Bring down the new asset as soon as that asset is uploaded and gone live. So I really think that this will solve a number of problems. I'm hoping anyway. My logic says that it would. So staging 2 is available for you to play around with. I tried to get this working, but the plugin, it's not adding file names to the end, to adding date modified to the end of files. They do talk about adding this code for Apache. We're on Nginx. That's the server that we're on. Doesn't say anything about Nginx. It's a very simple plugin. It's just a PHP file, a single PHP file, and some code in the htaccess file. So you'll see that this code in the htaccess file for staging 2. And viewing the homepage for staging 2. So this plugin is apparently meant to be on. So just view source of this page, and homepage will bring up a number of the assets that I've used because I named them homepage. So no date modified on any of these assets. So the plugin hasn't been updated recently by the author. I think that it's not really a high priority for him or the team. But if we could get this working, I think if you could get it working on staging 2, just to play around with it, then implement it on staging 1, and then once we've got it implemented on staging 1, we push to live, and hopefully the problems sort themselves out on the live site. So that's essentially it. So over to you, and let me know if you've got any questions. Okay, thanks, Ray. Cheers.